Want to build some double D level milkers like Baki Hama, Takedo Oma, or hell, even Star Platinum, but maybe you don't have access to weights, a bench, or cable machines. Or maybe you want to switch up your chest workout a bit and incorporate some calisthenics into your routine. Well, whoever you are, you handsome bastard, today I'm going to show you how I developed my chest at home without any equipment. I'll be giving you guys my favorite chest exercises that help me to build my chest. I'll show you guys the proper technique for each of these exercises that help to target my chest the best. And as a bonus, I'll throw in some extra tips that help me to grow my chest very quickly. Now I'm sure there's some of you out there saying, just get under the bar, bro. Just do bench press like a man. You think you're gonna grow your tiny pecs with just... Dude. I get it. Bench press is a god tier exercise and does so much work for the chest. But some of us either don't have access to a bench or weights, or quite frankly, some of us just don't like the bench press. Yeah, people like that exist. But honestly, I don't think you need bench press. I've had people in the gym compliment my chest and then ask me, how much do you bench? And they're always surprised when I tell them, I don't bench. So like I said, you don't need to be able to bench in order to develop an anime level chest. Because regardless if you use weights or not, the basics of chest training is the same. The pecs can be divided into 3 parts and they all contribute to chest aesthetics. The upper chest, which provides the fullness, the middle chest, which is overall chest size and thickness, and the lower chest for chest roundness. And so long as we can target these 3 parts, and we're also training to failure and using progressive overload, you are bound to grow a nice chest regardless of how you train. So with that out of the way, let's jump into the exercises so we can actually target these parts of the chest, starting with the middle chest. Now I know it was a bit of a weird example to use Star Platinum as a model for chest since he's just like he's a stand, like a little punchy ghost. But come on, dude's physique is like an anatomy lesson. And he's the perfect example of well-developed middle chest. If we're talking about developing pec thickness and the overall pec muscle, then this is the area you're gonna target and probably the area you're gonna work the most. So in order to target the middle chest, you wanna do pressing movements where your hands are in the middle of your chest. Makes sense, doesn't it? And when it comes to training this area, nothing is gonna beat classic push-ups. They're classic for a reason, but you wanna make sure you're doing them properly. First, start with a protracted scapula. Make sure that your glutes and abs are engaged so your body is completely straight. As you start to lower down, retract your scapula so that your shoulders are behind your chest. Then lower down until your chest is about less than an inch above the floor. And as you press back up, try squeezing your hands together so you get more of a contraction on the chest. Your hands aren't going to touch, but the intention is there, just like you and your crush boom roasted. And then of course, protract your scapula at the top. And then 1 rep, push up, done. With good form, eventually you are going to start getting really good at push-ups, so much so that you'll be doing super high reps in order to get the same stimulus, which is really good. High rep training is amazing, but eventually you'll want to vary things up a bit and start making things a little harder. Wide push-ups are great for this because they put more emphasis on the chest, while diamond push-ups do have more emphasis on the triceps. Because your hands are closer together, you're actually squeezing your chest harder, so I find it does work the chest a lot more as well. But I think my favorite variation is the switch grip push-up, which combines the best of both worlds. This variation I think is a lot of fun. It trains both the close grip and the wide grip, and it also helps you to develop that explosive strength. But if you want to train chest explosiveness, you don't have to get too fancy. Just doing classic explosive push-ups or clapping push-ups will help to do that just fine. And it really helps you to push with more force, allowing you to work your chest even more. But that's working the power of the chest. If we want to work the strength of the chest, then unilateral training is the way to go. One-arm push-ups are an exercise that I've done a lot, and they have done wonders for my chest. But not everybody can do a one-arm push-up, so the next best thing is to do archer push-ups, which are god tier exercise. Legitimately, they are OP. Since you're pushing 69%, nice. Since you're pushing 69% of your body weight with each arm, not only is your chest gonna get stronger, but it's also gonna grow a lot. On top of that, training one side at a time helps you to avoid any muscle imbalances and help you to develop beautiful symmetrical pecs just like Baki. And speaking of Baki, in my opinion, I think he has the best chest in all of anime, hands down, no questions asked. His pecs are massive and incredibly round, and that's all thanks to his lower chest. And the best way to target the lower chest is to push below you. I'm sensing a pattern here. So if you want to develop massive round pecs like Baki, you're gonna want to do decline bench, bro. Can you not? Man, that guy's annoying. Sure hope he doesn't come back at the end of the video. As I was saying, you should do dips. Not only are you pressing most of your body weight, but you'll also be working your entire chest, especially the aforementioned lower chest. The way I like to perform dips is to have my chest slightly angled forward so that I'm putting more emphasis on my pecs, and to me it feels better on my shoulders. I also like to go as deep as I can so I can get a really good stretch on the pecs. But if you're someone who has shoulder pain or you just want some different variations, then you should try out straight bar dips. They use less range of motion, so they're not going to hurt your shoulders as much, but personally for me, straight bar dips work my chest a lot more than regular dips do. So these are worth throwing into your routine if you want to develop some big boobies. But if you're someone who can't do dips to save their life, then I recommend you do some incline push-ups. They're not going to be as hard as regular push-ups, so they're great for beginners, and at the pushing angle you're performing, you are going to be targeting your lower chest, which is amazing. And if you do all of these exercises, you will have a chest like Baki probably. I think the only person that gives Baki's chest a run for its money is Takedo Oma's chest from Kengan Ashura. Legitimately, his upper chest is incredible. Like, you can bounce a quarter off of that thing. And of course, to target the upper chest, you're gonna have to push upwards. So you're gonna wanna do decline push-ups. Now these push-ups are gonna automatically force you to push upwards, targeting your upper chest. And depending on what angle you choose for your feet, it will make it harder because you're shifting the weight closer to your hands. But for optimal chest targeting experience, I like to do 30 to 45 degrees. I think that works, but you can experiment with whatever angle you want. It's well, oyster. So now that we covered how to target all of your chest, let's go through the techniques that help me to develop my chest as quick as possible. The first, and by far the best, is deficit push-ups. By adding extra range of motion by elevating your hands a bit, you are going to be putting more stretch on the pecs, which equals more gains, baby. Let's go. But if you want even more emphasis on the chest, the next technique involves you to put some socks on your hands. With this, your hands are going to be sliding across the floor, going out and in as you perform the push-up, almost like a chest fly. And it's going to be isolating your chest just a little bit more, stretching out your pecs at the bottom and then maximally contracting them at the top. But my favorite technique, which is a lot of fun, but it can be a little bit dangerous. Take a couple of skinny objects and stand them on their skinniest side, and that's going to be the base of support for your hands. And as you start to perform your push-ups, it's going to be super shaky and uncontrollable, but that's a good thing. The instability is going to force you to keep your muscles flexed, giving that time under tension, but it's also going to be training those deep stability muscles, and more hypertrophy will ensue. Just please be careful when you do these. Now, with all of this chest training, you're going to want to stretch out your chest in order to prevent any imbalances. But you can also counteract but you can also counteract the tightness that comes from chest training by training your back just as hard. So if you want to learn to train for an anime level back, then click, hey, fall. What? Click right here to learn how to train for an anime level back.